So we're on finally, Trisha.
Okay. This technology, it gets a little try.
It's been pretty crazy because last week I decided to start this new thing called Chat with Anju. And, I have so many friends. I've lived in so many countries all over. And I just wanted to introduce my friends who are so far away to the world that I'm living in now and to my Indian family. And, because everybody's so creative, everybody's online. I said, why not introduce and, share that platform?
Right. It's kind of about that right now. We're living in this sort of collaboration,
world.
Know each other. Like godliness almost.
And when did you know about it? When did you know that this is what I want to do?
You go into flow. Like you
go into the flow.
You go into the flow, and that's when you know you're on the path.
You're on the path. You're right.
It just comes through you,
Yeah.
And so with my core values, my core values is like I'm a real person who believes in action. And if you have an idea, if you have a dream, you have a goal, like the difference that makes it between people who actually accomplish and get on their path and into their flow is that they execute, they take action. Yeah. There's so many people who don't. They have dreams, they have these ideas, then they just don't do anything. And I have a number of girlfriends who are like that, long-term friendships, and I've been with them, watching them dream and dash and dream, and they just don't do anything. I'm going to write a book. Okay, write the first page. So I'm a real believer, in action. And I believe big time in persevering, because the thing is, it's all about the compounding effect, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
It's the compounding effect is that you take this step and then it goes to there, and you build. And before you know it, sometimes pass, and you're like, oh my God, I'm here. But you have to take those first steps. You have to execute it. Yeah. And, the thing is, whatever you're going to do, when you first start to do it, of course you're an expert, and of course it's going to look bad, and you're going to make mistakes. But you have to keep going and push through that till you get to the side where you become an expert. An expert at what you do. Malcolm Gladwell spoke about the 10,000 hours that it takes to become a professional. And
in fact, I wanted to ask you, because you were talking about, the inspiration, and if you have some young people who are, want to become designers, there's a lot of young girls, what is your practical tips you would give them at this time? Of course, everybody's got constraints with money and how to spend. How would they focus, and how should they go forward with their dreams?
In fashion.
Little tips in fashion, little tips.
Okay, the thing is that the fashion is really changing right now. A lot of things in fashion are changing. And, this whole COVID situation, like all the big fashion houses, they're even talking about only showing 2 collections a year and making the collections seasonless. And people aren't even going to show this September in Milan or Paris or New York. Like everything's canceled this year. So it's actually a really good time in one way, because there's going to be so many people who just don't even make it, which is going to allow new emerging designers. But emerging designers, they've been really, really hard hit too, because if you're trying to do this on a limited budget, it costs money to buy fabric, it costs money to do all of that. But that should never discourage you, because you just, you can find your way. I think there's tremendous opportunity because of these digital social media platforms we're using. Here's the example, is that you can be a 1-2, like my company is very small. I have my little team in Paris with my assistant and my pattern makers, and then I've got my fabric guys in Milan, and I've got my cut soap. But my team is relatively small. And because of social media and all the digital technologies, you can have a very successful business running on a shoestring. I was reading an article about this guy, and it really appealed to me. He's got like a $5 million business, and it's him. It's one person.
Wow.
This is what we're able to do now. And you think about these big fashion companies, Giorgio Armani, Chanel, Dolce Gabbana.
It's not going to be easy.
No, but years and years and years, and so much money they've spent. And because of digital marketing, you're able to go up against them.
And yeah,
you know. So
absolutely.
this is a very interesting thing. It's like
Yeah, yeah.
they can pull
And
up,
I
okay,
think it's even easier for them because, they from the new generation, they're more technically savvy, tech savvy.
totally
So,
tech savvy,
more than us.
yeah.
Yeah,
And the other thing too is
yeah,
that coming into the marketplace now,
yeah.
it's in a digital fashion. It's
Mm.
even it's beneficial because it's not like before where okay you would have a boutique, you've got overheads and this and that,
Overhead, yeah, yeah. Everything is very, yeah.
and you can do all of this. You can do it from home. You can start. You don't have to have these
Mm-hmm.
big overheads.
Yeah,
But for
yeah,
young emerging designers, you know what my real advice to you
yeah.
is get trained. Know how to become a jack of all trades. Know how to cut. Know how to
Mm-hmm.
make a pattern.
Mm.
Understand textile design. Understand digital marketing. Understand photography. Like you have to have a
All
base.
the areas put
You
together.
really do. Like educate yourself. That you can. There's been times I can make a pattern, and there's times I'm sitting with my pattern maker, and I
Mm.
just know, I know intuitively because I know enough about it. It's not. We're not. This isn't right. So you
Mm.
have to have enough skills, you know,
To
just
put
so
it
that
all
you,
together.
you
Yeah.
can you can make a collection,
Mm.
you know.
Yeah. What I was saying is, I was reading a quote. It said, "Fashion is part of the daily air, and it changes all the time with all the events. You even can see the approaching of a revolution in clothes." So
Hmm.
what I see now is, this I read it somewhere, and what I see now with the COVID. Do you see any? There's going to be a revolution
Oh,
in the
there's a
styles and
total
everything.
revolution. And so much of it is about sustainability. The
Yeah, yeah,
clothing industry is one of the biggest polluters in the
yeah,
world,
yeah,
and that's got to change. That's
yeah.
absolutely got to change. But the thing is that everybody's got too much clothes. Like we
Too much.
all have too much stuff.
And we realize it right now when we are sitting in our homes and looking at
Yeah,
all this and not knowing what to do with it.
have too much stuff,
Yeah, yeah,
and clothing is too expensive as
yeah.
well. This is another thing. Yeah, we're seeing a revolution in this fashion industry, and
Yeah,
it needed
yeah.
to change. Like there's a whole movement right now called rewiring fashion, and
Right.
I'm hugely behind this movement because I agree. You
Mm.
know, we things have to change. They really do. I would
How
love to
you?
come to Dubai.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I wanted to actually say because I have a lot of friends here, and of course, again with YPO, we have so many chapters here, and the women here they love dressing up, and they would love your.
Yeah.
So, like we planned, probably when things settle down,
Okay.
we can have a forum meeting here. So we kind of
Perfect.
combine it, and
Lovely.
then we you get a whole lot of your clothes. We get it here, and we can show it to my friends
Nice.
because that's going to be beautiful, and it works with the weather here because your clothes are so sexy and they're so the colors are so perfect for this kind of
Environment.
place
Yeah.
environment and the people here and.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I think it's
You know
great.
what?
Yeah,
One just
yeah,
popped into my mind, which I wanted to
yeah,
mention about emerging designers. If you've got
yeah, yeah. I
some
do have
time
some.
there,
Yeah,
it's just make sure that you're in an environment that supports your dreams too, and you support and in an environment that will teach you about the industry. There's a great online publication called The Business of Fashion that I
I
think
have that.
every emerging designer needs to become part of. You can subscribe to all their articles. They've got webinars, and you can really learn about what's happening in our industry. Like get to know your industry, become an expert in your industry.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. That's
Yeah.
great because of course, I'm going to put this up on my Instagram, and I've got all my people waiting for this. But thanks a lot for your time.
Pleasure. Thanks,
I know it's
Anju.
early for you in Miami,
Okay, we're gonna go to the beach now.
but and I hope this goes up successfully, and
Thank you.
and we keep doing this. And thank you for sharing your thoughts and giving us some tips, and and I can't wait to get you to Dubai.
Okay. Bye, darling.
Love you.